I will be predicting. Here are my NBA game predictions for December 18th of 2021. There are 7 games today. I will be predicting the over-unders and spreads for all the games, and I got all the info from DraftKings for that. For the Rockets at the Pistons, I'm taking the Rockets plus 1.5, but I'm just going on assuming that Christian Wood will be playing. If not, then I would take the Pistons, so this is more of a game time decision for me, but the over-under, I'll stick with over 215 no matter if he plays or not at 215. I just expect one team to get hot and pull away, so hence why I'd take the over 215, but overall I think it should stay pretty close, but if one team does pull away, and especially if Wood is playing, it would be the Rockets at the end of the day. For the Knicks at the Celtics, I'm taking the Knicks plus 4.5. This is due to the Celtics playing last night, so they should be not as fresh as the Knicks. And I'll be taking over 210 because even though the Celtics played last night, Jason Tatum can always score. He does shoot the ball a lot, so if he gets hot, that's like 25 points guaranteed. And then Knicks should be able to score on the Celtics, I think, with a little bit more ease than usual, just due to the Celtics being a little slower. So over 210 seems very reasonable. For the Magic and the Nets, no one on the Nets is really playing right now, but then I also checked the Magic and no one really is playing on the Magic either. So personally, I would not bet on this game at all, but if I had to, I would take the Nets -2. I'm seeing both bench squads tonight, so this really could go either way because I don't know how their benches will do with extended minutes, and then hence why I'm taking the under 215.5. Of course, like a random person on either team can get real hot and just string together like 4 baskets in a row, really like scored a lot of points real quick, but under 215.5 just seems the safer bet. For the Warriors at the Raptors, so the current spread is 7.5. And it's plus Warriors, so plus 7.5 Warriors. So I would take that, and because I rarely see the Warriors plus and plus that much, it's like you have to take that bet. And I even checked to see who was out, and as of now, it's just Jordan Poole is out. They might sit some of their starters due to rest, because they did play last night. But they are just playing the Raptors, and the Raptors have been kind of hit or miss of late, so Warriors plus 7.5, then going under just because Warriors did play last night, and then the Raptors scoring's kind of inconsistent as of late. They're ranging around like the low 100s, so we saved your bet under 212.5 due to Warriors defense being better, and then Raptors also can clamp down and play some defense. I think it's easier to play defense on back-to-back than try and score a ton on back-to-back games. For the Clippers at the Thunder, I'm taking the Thunder plus 4.5. This is due because Paul George is likely to be out this game, and if he does play, he is playing with an injured elbow, so that could affect your shooting. And the Thunder only have Dort out, so I would take the Thunder plus 4. They have options that they can go to, like Alexander and Giddey, to try and get some baskets, control the game that way. And for the spread, over 7.5. The Thunder's defense, not outstanding, so there are still professional basketball players on the Clippers. So yeah, if you leave them open, they're still going to make a shot. Like if you leave Morris open, even though he's not the greatest shooter in the world, he will make that shot. So over 7.5 shouldn't be a problem. And then the Cavs at the Bucks, they also have the Cavs plus 1. The Bucks did play last night, and the Cavs have been playing really well, and the Bucks have not been playing as well as the Cavaliers. So I would expect the Cavs to win this actually with relative ease. I'd be taking under 214. The Cavs will be doing the heavy lifting for the scoring between these two. And I don't expect actually a ton of scoring from the Bucks, as it is mostly their bench. It is Holiday doing the heavy lifting for scoring, or should be. And he has to raise the floor for all those players. So under 214.5 due to the Cavs playing defense, Bucks not having their players. For the Wizards at the Jazz. So the Jazz played last night, but the spread was 11.5. So it's like on a normal night, if the Jazz weren't playing back to back, I'd likely take the Jazz winning by that 11.5. But after a close game last night, I can't. So Wizards plus 11.5. I'm going over 220.5, just because the Jazz, they've been scoring a lot of points, but they've also been giving up a lot of points. Like last night, if you did over 250, that would have worked, which is absurd. So I'll be going over 220.5 due to the Wizards not having the greatest defense and the Utah Jazz having a great offense. So I honestly do expect like over 120 from the Jazz. So that just means the Wizards need to score like 100 points, which I think is very possible. But they also do have to cover plus 11.5, so you could almost bump that over even more if you wanted to. And then just a recap of yesterday's results on my spreads and over-unders. So I was 4 for 8 on both the spreads and over-unders, making me at 50% for the total, which it's not great, but I'll try to improve my picks, try and get some better insights. But then my today's best picks, I'd go with the Cavs minus 4.5. And then for over-under, I would shift that Knicks and Boston game to over 214.5 to really try and maximize your earnings. And thanks for watching. Comment your Preds and player picks down below to try and help other people out with picks. And once again, thanks for watching.